No, this is not clickbait. Ms. Legalista here. Glad you've joined me for another video. And yes, Roach Motel actually does appear in this complaint that the Federal Trade Commission has filed against Amazon. And I'm going to read to you a lot of the complaint. And I want to just go ahead and let you know because people want to know, how does Roach Motel fit in? Basically, the government was saying Amazon was using dark patterns. If you followed any of my previous emails about dark emails, videos about dark patterns, then you understand that there are these techniques that are going on that you may not realize cause you to buy something that you didn't intend to buy, sign up for something that you didn't intend to sign up for, or make it hard for you to get out of a subscription that you signed up for. All of these tricks that designers know, and I'm not saying all designers support this, okay? Don't get me wrong there. Some do, some don't. Some are out there educating, which is why we're learning more about this, educating us, informing us of what's going on. And the Federal Trade Commission has said, hey, Amazon, you've been doing all of this stuff for a while. Last year, Amazon finally said, okay, we're going to stop. Yeah, but I want to give you some background information about this. The Roach Motel, they throw this in the complaint. I'm going to show it to you, but they don't really tell you why this name is being used. It's an obstruction. What I've read though is the easiest way to think about it is, I think it was Black Flag, I don't want to get the manufacturer wrong here, where they sold these Roach Motels. And the idea was you check in, but you don't check out. That was the tagline for the company. The roaches check in, they don't check back out. Okay, so roaches go into this bait, they're stuck, there are all these, pheromones and sticky stuff, whatever they've put in there to get the roaches to stay in the motel. They can't check back out. Well, that's what some of these designers, product manufacturers, I don't know, people out there who are selling you things on the internet, that's what they're using. They're using techniques to get you to check in, sign up, and not be able to check back out or cancel it. And that's what's going on here. So let me go ahead and give you the play-by-play of what is going on and break this down for you just a little bit. A lot of times I actually bring this up on the screen, but this time I'm going to invite you to just grab a drink. Maybe you have a cup of coffee, tea. Just sit back and listen and get informed as we go through this amended complaint that the Federal Trade Commission has filed against Amazon. And the other thing I want you to know is it's not just against Amazon. It was also against 3 officers of Amazon, because guess what? They knew about it. Their employees came to them and said, hey, there's some stuff going on, but they chose not to fix it. They chose not to do anything about it. So they are being sued in their capacity as officers of Amazon, and then individually too, because it's like, hey, we brought you an issue and what did you do? Nothing at all. For years, defendant Amazon and its leadership have knowingly duped millions of consumers into unknowingly enrolling into its Amazon Prime service. And they're terming these people as non-consensual enrollment or enrollees. Specifically, Amazon used manipulative, coercive, or deceptive user interface designs known as dark patterns to trick consumers into enrolling in automatically renewing Prime subscriptions. The non-consensual enrollment problem was well known within Amazon. The company's internal documents are littered with references to accidental signups. In early 2019, for example, an Amazon survey showed a certain number, because it's redacted, of consumers stated their reason for canceling Prime was that they never intended to enroll in the first place. And in September 2020, Amazon estimated that a certain percentage of Prime subscribers were unaware they had subscribed to Prime. In a draft memorandum in late 2020, Amazon designers and researchers documented the company's use of techniques, quote, designed to mislead or trick users to make them do something they don't want to do, like signing up for a recurring bill, unquote. Some Amazon employees pushed the company executives responsible for Prime, including these defendants, and their names are Neil Lindsay, Russell Grandinetti, and Jamil Ghani, to address non-consensual enrollment and make changes so that Amazon would not be tricking its customers. Do we really think they were going to do that? Okay, well, one employee, for example, wrote to Ghani, "The way I see it, we are not winning for customers by ignoring the simple and obvious lack of information by applauding a business gain. We congratulate when someone changes a headline color or the style of a table, but don't notice we are not even telling customers what they are signing up for." All right. Despite their knowledge of the problem and pleas from some employees to fix it, Amazon and its leadership, including Lindsay, Grandinetti, and Ghani, slowed, avoided, and even undid user experience changes that they knew would reduce non-consensual enrollment, because those changes would also negatively affect Amazon's bottom line. As one internal memorandum stated, Amazon decided clarifying the enrollment process was not the right approach because it would come as a shock to business performance. For years, Amazon knowingly complicated the cancellation process for Prime subscribers who sought to end their membership. Under significant pressure from the commission, meaning the Federal Trade Commission, and aware that its practices were legally indefensible, Amazon substantially revamped its Prime cancellation process for at least some subscribers shortly before the filing of this complaint for permanent injunction, civil penalties, monetary relief, and other equitable relief. However, prior to that time, and that was just last year, prior to that time, the primary purpose of the Prime cancellation process was not to enable subscribers to cancel, but rather to thwart them. This is what the complaint says, to thwart them. They didn't want them to cancel. Fittingly, Amazon named that process Iliad. Okay, so when you have a whole name for your process that is designed to be deceptive, like that illustrates to me that there's an organizational culture problem there, and a pretty big one. When you're like, let me come up with the, Project Iliad, we're just going to name this bad crap we're doing to our customers. Okay. This refers to Homer's epic about the long, arduous Trojan War. Perfect name then. Amazon designed the Iliad cancellation process, they're calling this Iliad flow, to be a labyrinth, and Amazon and its leadership, including Lindsay, Grandinetti, and Ghani, slowed or rejected user experience changes that would have made Iliad simpler for consumers because those changes adversely affected Amazon's bottom line. So all of this, it says, as with non-consensual enrollment, the Iliad flow's complexity resulted from Amazon's use of dark patterns, manipulative design elements that trick users into making the decisions that they would not otherwise have made. So, like I said before, they're suing Amazon, plus they're suing these three officers. Next, let me talk a little bit about Amazon's business activity so that you understand that. And then we're going to show you this piece where they talk about the Roach Motel. It's just a little piece, one of the dark, deceptive practices that they're talking about. But just to give you some background here, customers pay $139 per year or $14.99 monthly to subscribe to Prime. Prime subscription fees account for $25 billion of Amazon's annual revenue. So now you can get an understanding of why they would not want a significant portion of these people canceling. It would impact their bottom line. It says approximately 70% of Amazon's revenue comes from American consumers. Subscribers are critical to Amazon's overall consumer. I should start back over. Subscribers are critical to Amazon's overall commerce business because Prime subscribers spend more than, I guess, X amount of dollars here that they redacted, as much shopping on Amazon as compared to non-Prime shoppers. Consequently, one of Amazon's primary business goals and the primary business goal of Prime is increasing subscriber numbers. So now you get an understanding of why they don't want these people dropping off. When they say, hey, we want to cancel, it's like, how can we make this so hard for them to do? Well, throughout the complaint, I mean, the complaint is like littered with picture after picture after picture where they show from the Amazon website somebody ordering something and they're like, hey, try Prime for free, include Prime, and they don't tell you how much Prime is, what you're signing up for, what you get, and what the subscription price is going to be. So they say it's really easy. Like you can get in just a couple of clicks, 2 clicks, you're in. Try to get out, and it's the Roach Motel. So they talk about in this complaint, like I said, these manipulative designs. So one of them is called forced action. And this is the one where it says it's a design element that requires users to perform a certain action to complete a process or to access certain functionality. So in this case, to even get to, hey, I want to buy my product, I want to get what I came here for, I can't do that because I got to jump through your Prime subscription hoops. You're making me do these other things before I get to do what it is I really want to do. It says Amazon uses forced action in its Prime enrollment flow, forcing the customer to choose whether to enroll in Prime before allowing the consumer to complete her purchase. In fact, at least as of 2018, Amazon knew that some customers clicked on yellow buttons, expecting only to continue the checkout process rather than enroll in Prime. So they were clicking on this button thinking, okay, let me go ahead and check out. And wait, lo and behold, I got to do that before. And it turns out that is not the checkout. That's me and Prime. But let's look at this Roach Motel piece here. Obstruction Roach Motel. Obstruction Roach Motel. And this is known in the design industry. This is not something they're making up to talk about specifically for Amazon. So part of the reason I point this out is so that you can recognize now what is going on when you're signing up for something. Go ahead on the website before you sign up and check it out and see where it talks about the cancellation process. See whether or not you have to jump through hoops. Do you have to send an email to 5 different people? Do you have to talk to someone on the phone? Like, understand how to get out of it, because that's what the trick is. The trick is to keep you in that Roach Motel so that you can't check out. So it's called obstruction Roach Motel. Obstruction, also known as the Roach Motel technique, is a design element that involves intentionally complicating a process through unnecessary steps to dissuade consumers from an action. Amazon uses obstruction throughout its Prime checkout enrollment flows by making the option to decline enrollment difficult to locate. In fact, since at least 2018, Amazon has known that some consumers cannot find the less prominent "no thank you" link to decline enrollment. You have seen that before, right? You're like, where's the X to get out of this? I'm stuck in here and the only thing I see is, yes, enroll me now. Yes, I want to take advantage of this great option. And the thing that says "no thank you" is like font 2 down in the corner that you can't see until you like take your mouse over there and it gets highlighted. That's what they're talking about here. In fact, since at least 2018, Amazon has known that some consumers cannot find the less prominent no thank you link to decline enrollment. It says Amazon also uses obstruction in its Iliad flow by one, making the ingress to the Iliad flow difficult for consumers to locate, and two, forcing consumers who have already expressed an intent to cancel by locating and entering that same Iliad flow to view marketing. So I'm going to sell you stuff as you're as you're making your way through this process. I'm going to continue to market to you. And then reconsider options other than cancellation. You guys, there was a company, I can't remember what it was. There was a company that when I was going through to cancel my subscription, it was like, wait, no, don't cancel. Are you sure you want to go? And I'm like, yes. And they're like, oh, wait, no, don't go. What if we give you a free month? Do you still want to cancel? I'm like, yes. They're like, oh, wait, what if we give you a free month and discount like X number of months? Do you still want to cancel? I'm like, yes, I still want to cancel because I don't use the service. I don't need it. I don't want it. If it's not something of value to me, it doesn't matter that you're going to give it to me for free for a month or discount it for 6 months because I'm not going to use it. And they know that if you go ahead and say, okay, well, I'll take it. Maybe I'll use it. I'll keep it for another 6 months. They know that what's going to happen is you're going to forget 6 months from now to cancel it. You're going to forget to do that. And so then at that point, they'll start to recoup that discount that they gave you, recoup that free month that you got. If they can keep you on for X amount more months, you're likely to forget about it and not turn it off. And then if you do, now you got to go back through this whole flow again. The Roach Motel, you check in and you don't check back out. All right. So it says the presence of obstruction complicates this whole flow. The other thing they use is misdirection by including design elements that focus consumers' attention on one thing to distract you where it was you were trying to go. But again, these are things that are thrown into this complaint the Federal Trade Commission has against Amazon. And I'm just trying to make you aware of some of these dark practices that are out there. So hopefully this video has provided you with some information here. Will help you to understand when you're signing up, especially for products and services on the web, even just purchasing, just trying to purchase something, that you understand what you're looking at when you see all of these things that are misdirecting you or forcing you to go through these flow patterns or are throwing things out there to misdirect you or just making you take an action, a forced action, before you can cancel that service. All right, give the video a thumbs up if you now know a little bit more about dark patterns and deceptive tricks that some of these companies are using. And don't forget to subscribe. Peace.